Maxine Waters' career may be finished, new scandal revealed. California Democratic Rep. Maxine Waters is certainly no stranger to controversy and scandal. In fact, she wallows in it. Waters strikes me as someone who believes she is above the law and can get away with whatever she wants. It's one of the reasons she is seen as one of the most corrupt politicians in Congress. A new complaint has been filed against Waters and the new unfolding scandal surrounding the complaint has the potential to finish off her career. The complaint involves an obscure fundraising tactic that has raked in thousands of dollars from state politicians in exchange for being listed on her slate mailers. This go-around, it involves supporters of a former Los Angeles mayor defeated in the June gubernatorial primary. A conservative watchdog group named the National Legal and Policy Center is the one who filed the complaint with the Federal Election Commission against Waters, her campaign, and a pro-charter school group called Families and Teachers for Antonio Villaraigosa, which backed the former Democratic mayor of Los Angeles. This is very serious and could in the end not only end Waters' career, it could also entail jail time. She has the best attorneys money can buy, and it looks like she may need them. From Fox News. The pro-Villaraigosa group paid $25,000 to the Citizens for Waters Committee on May 25 to include Villaraigosa in her slate mailer, according to the complaint. FEC guidelines, however, say only a candidates committee can pay for the mailer's sample ballots traditionally mailed out to about 200,000 voters in Los Angeles, highlighting whom Waters supports. Waters' mailers have faced scrutiny since 2010 because the campaign, since 2004, has paid her daughter Karen Waters, or her public relations firm Progressive Connections, to produce, print and mail the sample ballots. Legally, candidates are paying a reimbursement for the slate mailer, rather than buying an endorsement. But it's difficult to prove whether the Waters endorsement comes as a result of the payment or if already endorsed candidates are paying for their share. Adav Noti, a former FEC Assistant General Counsel, recently told Fox News while explaining the peculiar process. The mailers also effectively provide a loophole to get around federal campaign contribution limits. The watchdog group's FEC complaint, the second against Waters since July, is asking for a full audit of the Congresswoman's campaign. Since the Commission has given federal campaigns broad discretion involving slate mailers, it is imperative the issues cited in this complaint are fully investigated and all penalties and fines that may result from a finding that the Citizens for Waters campaign was in violation of the statutes cited should be applied in full, the complaint filed Thursday morning says. Neither Waters' congressional office nor her campaign responded to phone and email inquiries for this report. This has nothing to do with Waters' vicious attacks on President Trump. This scandal has been brewing for her for years. It was just a matter of time before the law started knocking on her proverbial door. However, it won't slow her down from calling for Trump's impeachment. Villaraigosa ran as a moderate Democrat in the gubernatorial jungle primary. This means that the two candidates that get the most votes will face off in the general election, regardless of what party they belong to. Democratic Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom and Republican businessman John Cox won that primary, so Villaraigosa is out of the running. A politician out of office is even more vulnerable to legal action as their misdeeds have a way of coming out much more easily. Charter school advocates formed a group that spent millions of dollars on TV ads pushing for Villaraigosa. Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, a billionaire, and Netflix CEO Reed Hastings were among those who bankrolled Families and Teachers for Antonio Villaraigosa. All uber leftists. This liberal lioness who is for teacher unions and public education didn't mind taking money from charter school advocates. Tom Anderson, the director of the Government Integrity Project at the National Legal and Policy Center, told Fox News. This is clearly not only enriching Maxine Waters and her family, but what better way for tech billionaires and Michael Bloomberg to push against the teacher unions? As soon as the primary was over, Newsom aligned himself with Waters. Newsom's campaign paid $27,000 to the Waters campaign on June 5, primary day, to be featured on her slate mailers. Because it came from the candidates committee, that payment was supposedly legal. Waters, 79, will face Republican Omar Navarro, 29, a small business owner in the election. More from Fox News. Federal law technically limits individual campaign contributions to $2,700 to a candidates committee and $5,000 to a political action committee. But the mailers are treated differently. A 2004 FEC advisory opinion, signed by Democratic FEC Commissioner Ellen Weintraub, set guidelines for how those mailers can be funded. A 2004 FEC advisory opinion described the pamphlets as follows: the brochure will feature a prominent picture or likeness of Representative Waters on the front page. It will be promoted as Representative Waters' official sample ballot and will contain brief quotes, which convey her opinions and endorsements of the federal and non-federal candidates listed. The FEC opinion stated that the payments from other candidates would not constitute support of, or in-kind contributions to, any federal candidate appearing in the brochure, so long as the authorized committee of that federal candidate reimburses the Waters Committee. The watchdog group's FEC complaint stressed the parameters of the 2004 decision. In the advisory opinion, the Commission clearly states that payments made to the citizens of Waters' campaign by candidates as a reimbursement to the Waters campaign for costs related to the slate mailer the campaign creates for elections. The complaint continues. These reimbursements allow candidates to exceed campaign finance contribution limits. Since this money did not come from the candidate, Antonio Villaraigosa, or any campaign or agent of Mr. Villaraigosa, this payment cannot be considered a reimbursement by the candidate, campaign or agent of the candidate to the citizens for Waters' campaign committee. One can only hope that Navarro wins that race against Waters, and I think he stands a good chance of doing just that. Waters is about to be embroiled in a legal mess that will force her to fight for her literal life. That's a tall order for a 79-year-old radical.